Greetings. This is Skylar Saunders seeing what's current. Ricky Rose almost took a whole spill. He didn't have a full spill. He just had, he's got slumped a little bit. He broke a chair. Now this is because of his status as an obese man of color. He's got things riding against him. He's a man of color. He's a man, and he's overweight. So that's multiple things that contribute to the fact that obesity is serious in the black community. Now, the host could have laughed at. All right, but you know what, Baha? I just hold on. I'll get back to the story, but I just saw your piece on O'Doul's beer. I know it was a few weeks ago, but I appreciated that post because I was waiting for you to get to the next few beers, and I have to look at those too. But I was just thinking about the best non-alcoholic beer I've ever had was a Heineken. The Heineken non-alcoholic beer is magnifique. It is great. So salute to you, Baja. Or Beha Jackson. I notice you say Beha, not I've been saying Baja. It's Beha Jackson. I got you. Salute to you. And guess what? It's still Happy New Year. It's still Happy New Year, God damn it. So let me do your advertising right now. If you want to learn more about chicken, salt, grilled sardines, beer, all of that, check out Beha Jackson's channel and make sure you tell him that Skylar Saunders sent you. Let him know that you're gonna enjoy his videos. He has great commentary. He has great ideas. This is a problem now because I just saw that Mr. Troy Star Terrain is on the mic as we speak at the same time, but that's okay. This is for the rebroadcast. He's got the live. He has over 2,000 people in his live. I'm happy if I get 12 people in my live. So y'all can drop out if you want. Head over there. I know that's what I just said. I just said that. I just said Mr. Terrain went live. But salute to you, Abdul, and Happy New Year. Again, yeah. Yeah, I just saw that Mr. Terrain went live. So if y'all want to go over there, that's cool. Do what you got to do. This is just for the rebroadcast. I get my numbers up in my rebroadcast anyway. So if y'all don't want to be live with me, that's cool. I can understand. I just have to put in that work. I have to put in that, the grind, no matter what. Whether I don't know what sometimes he'll send me a message. He'll send me, I'm going live. Sometimes he just goes live. So it depends. Yes, thank you. Hit the like button. Yes, thank you. Hit that like button. I got 2 people watching that I can see and 2 likes, so that's a good start. I think it's Beha Jackson and Abdul Mateen. They are watching me currently, so I appreciate it. All right, so Ricky Rose, his host, the host of the broadcast, ADIN or ADIN. Ross, there's obviously no relation because Rick Ross is not Ricky Rose's real name. That's just his rapper alias. I think what is it? It's either Robert Williams or William Roberts. I know Meek Mill is either one or the other. Let me see. Robert Williams. Okay, his name is William Roberts. Rick Ross. Rick Ross's name is William Roberts. So there's obviously no connection. His Rick Ross is actually the drug dealer from the 80s who allegedly invented crack cocaine and had $1 million a day operation before he got knocked by the cops and was sent away for a few years. I don't know how long. He was sent away for a few years, but he got out and now he's doing book tours and trying to get it. He was suing Rick Ross for a little while. I don't think that's been successful. So it is what it is. But Rick Ross, it was a great. I didn't see the whole thing, but I'm gonna watch it later on. Just like with the Cat Williams interview, I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched the incident, and that has been reported. He just fell from a chair. Not fall. He just kind of looked over it. The leg broke out from under him. Now he could have Aiden could have had crack jokes. Said, "Oh, you're kind of getting hefty there, or something, or you're trying to get, you're kind of heavy. You're the new heavy D, or something." He could have said all kinds of fat jokes and went at him, but he was just like real cool, really relaxed, and it was just saying. And then Ross was quick. He was like, it's too much money in my pockets. I got money in my pockets, it's weighing me down. So he was quick. He wasn't saying, oh, poor me, I'm fat, and I can't do anything about it. He's doing the exact opposite. For 2024, he's got a goal to lose even more weight because he lost weight from 2006. From 2006 to now, he's lost probably over 100 pounds or more. So you have to give him credit for that amount of dedication and definite, idealism about his health, about his, well-being. Because, without health, you have nothing. You have all the money in the world. Abdul Mati says Rick Ross not a discussion for me. Toodles. He's like, I'm out. But I respect that. I respect that, Abdul. I really do. At least you're being honest. I just saw the story, thought it was interesting. Rick Ross is one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's one of the most interesting characters within the hip hop universe. And when I saw this, I was like, damn, that's probably gonna be they're probably gonna have a joke fest about this. They're gonna go in and say how big he is and how fat he is and everything like that. But it was just the opposite. He was very Aiden or Adin or how you pronounce his name. He was very considerate. He was very congenial towards his guest. He didn't berate him or make fun of him or tear him down. I have to respect that about him. So Rick Ross, get this, kids. He's preparing to go to Tanzania and climb Mount Kilimanjaro. If you can believe that. Rick Ross has plans to go to Kilimanjaro. He wants to climb it. Now, I don't understand rock climbing. I don't get it. I don't understand why people do it. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. So, but other people that you want to climb mountains, that's fine. Do your thing. Do what you got to do. But this is not my speed. Yes, I'm at 0 viewers. Thank you very much. I appreciate the fact that I have 0 viewers, but I have at least 20 to now it's 1 viewer. But it was at 0 viewers for one point. Mr. Choice Star Terrain can take his way as many people as he wants. I have tremendous respect for him beyond even control. Greg Ass says, climb mountains. I'd rather smoke boulders. You remember the line that Chappelle said? He was like, when we talking about Diddy, he was like, I want to play violin, climb mountains, and sing the songs that I like to sing. Anybody remember that from Chappelle's show? Yeah, but what was dope about the whole interview, beyond the broken chair, I mean, that was just like a minor little hiccup in the whole scheme of things. I would say that the parts that I saw, just the clips. I didn't see the entire interview, of course, but just the minor clips that I saw, it was very engaging. He was talking about how Rick Ross is getting off of had to get off of lean. He had seizures, 2 and 3 seizures a day. I remember it was in the news a few months ago, back in 2023. He was talking about how I think there was one issue, maybe in 2022, but it was definitely a few months or 3 years ago, where he was actually hospitalized for a seizure, or we weren't sure what happened. But it's that lean. See, everybody, lean and Percocets, Molly Percocets, lean and it's dirty Sprite and lean, scissor and all that. Like, they make it seem cool, but once your liver's failing, once your kidneys are ailing, it's not so funny after that, and you're having 2 to 3 seizures a day. It's not so cool and has a mystique to it. That's the thing. Drugs still have a mystique to them. You know, and even cigarettes, and coffee, the nicotine and caffeine. It has a mystique to it. It has a romanticism about it. You know, it's not just to look cool. It's not just it's actually to, you know, calm your nerves and release yourself and bring down your anxiety. But beyond that, it's killing you. You're literally killing yourself slowly, smoking cigarettes and drinking, you know, too much coffee. Like 3 or 4 cups a day and things of that nature. People that drink coffee like that. So it's the same thing with lean. So he said, you know, he completely abstains from lean now. You know, he's very focused on his career. He's making more money than he's ever has been with, you know, the Luke Belair, the rum that he has. I can't think of the name right now, but he has, you know, the champagne, the rum. He's got all kinds of business. He has over 200 cars, according to him. You know, that's just mind-boggling to me. How you can have, he even put that in the song. Greg says the Vietnamese drink tons of coffee. I bet they do. But so he put it in a song. He said so many cars. DMV thought it was mail fraud. You know, just that ideal, just that sensibility of having so many cars. How do you maintain and if you drive them, repair that many cars? I don't understand. That's rich nigga shit. That's really rich nigga shit. I don't understand that. That's beyond my comprehension. That's very, you know, next level, you know, beyond my whole, you know, thought process. 200 cars. And he has the car shows. He was talking about, you know, Rashawn Casey. He was saying how, you know, he's getting chumped, you know, on the cars. This is in the interview. I'm just, you know, going further on what he said about his 200 cars. But from what I saw, you know, it was a pretty good, you know, slice of information. That the entirety, it seems like it's going to be even better. The Aiden Smith, you know, think Aiden Ross, his actual last name is Ross. He has 4 million subscribers, so he has some kind of a base. So I want to check out more of his clips. So I do appreciate the fact that, you know, he was very professional. He was very accommodating to Rick Ross. He didn't try to clown him. He didn't try to, you know, say all those things. He wasn't snickering. Oh, you broke my chair. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? You know, he was saying that stuff like that. All right, Greg Ass is saying, pretty sure he paid off Officer Ricky for that interview big time. I don't know. I can't say, because sometimes you find out later that, you know, people get paid off and you know, just for views, for clicks, for, you know, all kinds of clout. So I say I don't know. Payola, exactly. Payola. You know, that can you do payola on the internet? It's completely illegal on radio, on TV. TV and radio are regulated. You can't say this, you can't do that. Is it the same way with internet? I don't know. Internet's slightly radio. There's the DMCA, Digital Millennial Copyright Act. That was instituted, you know, I think in 2000. But you know, so he could have been paid off, but I'm not even going to get into that. Not even going to get into that. Yeah, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act is a 1998 United States copyright law that implements 2 1996 treaties of the World Intellectual Property Organization. So it was originally published on October 28th, 1998. So it has some kind of, you know, semblance of regulation of the internet in a sense, or, you know, the government's, you know, understanding of what it means to have the copyright laws on the books for World Wide Web. Greg says, not a fan of those YouTubers like Aiden Ross and Neon. I don't even know who Neon is. I didn't even know who Aiden Ross was before I saw this. I'm not out. A lot of kids are up to this. I went to Objectivist Conference 2017, right? Going almost 7 years ago. What are you saying what to, Greg? I don't follow a lot of these. I follow two YouTubers mainly, Mr. Troy Star Terrain and Dr. Jerome Brook. And I pay them. I give money to them. I guess you kind of old now. No. Yeah, I am. I really am. Because have you ever heard of God damn, I can't even think of his name. Rucker Ali. Have you ever heard of Rucker? Have you ever heard of Rucker Ali, Greg ass? You ever heard of him? And make sure you get that like. I think you're my third like. Make sure you hit that like button. But Rucker Ali, I never heard of him. They're like, what? What? You never heard of Rucker Ali? And he's like an objectivist. And I'm not going to clown him. I'm not going to shade him. I'm not getting that. The only question I have for him is, does he put in enough work for objectivism? And the other question is, does he have to? Maybe he doesn't even have to do that. Maybe he doesn't have to represent for objectivism. He has over 1 million subscribers. He's got, when we used to be able to tell, how many views people had, I think he had hundreds of millions, if not billions of views. Yeah, you never heard of him. Yeah, I never heard of him until 2017. And thank you for that like. Appreciate it. So I think it's just Greg and I, we're going to be going back and forth. Just prepare, strap in. Pause. I'm waiting for the pause. Greg S is going to say pause at some point. I'm waiting for it. But I never heard of him. Rucker, he's a good guy. I'm not going to say his name. I know his name. I know his real name, but I'm not going to say it because out of respect for him. But I do know his real. He's a Jewish young man, but he's definitely successful. He's great stand-up comedian, very quick on his feet, great timing. I have to give it to him. Greg S says they are red pill audience, little teeny bopper audience. What is the difference between the red pill and the green pill? When you're the red pill, that means you're not masculine. I never forget. I always forget what the difference between the red pill and the green pill are. What is the green pill? I know it's I know one is like, you're like the transgender, you're like the Wachowski siblings. They all like Andrew Tate. That's red pill. Okay, so I'm not a red pill. So what's green pill? I don't want to be red pill if I'm Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is a bitch. I can say that now. I describe a man as a bitch. I don't usually use the B word, but I can reserve it for him. He is an actual bitch. Blue pill. That's it. Yeah. I'm thinking about Jay-Z. He says green pill. Blue pill is the other one. Okay, so what is a blue pill? What is a blue pill? What is that? How's that function? I could look all this up, but I like having a conversation with Greg because I like the way you interact with other human beings. I can look all this. I can Google all of this if I wanted to, but I like to interact with my audience. And so far, I have an audience of one, who's Greg. So he's giving me all the tea on the pills. So what is the blue pill? What does it mean when you take the blue pill? Blue pill, I'm not sure. I'll look it up. Real quick. Blue pill meaning. What is the blue pill meaning? The red and blue pill represent a choice between the willingness to learn and potentially unsettling or life-changing truth by taking the red pill, or remaining in the contented experience of ordinary reality with the blue pill. Okay. Like I said, it's from the Wachowski siblings, because they both are transgender women. They once were men, now they're women. And so the blue pill represents, just staying the same. There would be no Matrix if he didn't take if he took the blue pill. If Keanu Reeves' character, Neo, Mr. Anderson, if he had taken the blue pill, there wouldn't have been a Matrix franchise. Because the red pill, like you fall into a whole nother world of understanding and newness. Not to Andrew Tate's credit, I would say, but it's a different realm. All right, so going back to Rick Ross and Aiden Ross, of course, no relation. They definitely, put out a different vibe. They had a real kind of like synergy. They had a real back and forth, and he had good questions for Rick Ross. I'm not sure if it's payola again. I'm not sure. I don't want to get into that world. I don't want to get into that debate. But that took me to a point. Whoever just came in, make sure you hit that like button. I need 4 likes. Before it was just one person who and that was Greg S. Whoever came in, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure it goes up to 4 for me. Maybe 68 to you, but it says 3 likes for me. Yeah, so Ross was very composed. Like I said, he's making a lot of money. He'll make a song here and there. He'll get on somebody's remix. He might even drop a whole album, but that's not his bag right now. His bag is all kinds of alcohol. Alcohol is his bag. I bet he's drinking still though. He's not doing the lean. He's not leaning and rocking off of that dirty Sprite and with the Nowland and the Jolly Ranchers and the codeine. That's the main component of lean is, right? Codeine. So he's not worried about it. He's worried about getting into shape, and I see that. I see that happening. He's gonna get down to probably like $180, and I don't know what he's gonna do with the extra skin. That's just weird. When people lose weight, sometimes there's like that saggy skin, that hangs off of you a little bit. You got to just tone that. He's gonna have to tone that into shape. I see him doing that. I see that. I'm being really positive. That's part of my philosophy. You can't get to my philosophy without being an objectivist, without being an objective hater. But one day when I report it, in about 4 years from now, I'm definitely going to let you know what time it is with my philosophy. Yeah, so there's definitely a connection there with Aiden and Ricky Rose. They definitely have a chemistry. They're really cool with each other. It seems like they're just relaxed and are having a conversation. Again, it's about an hour long. I only saw the clips, but from what I've read, I read the articles mostly. I read Hip Hop DX, All Hip Hop, and Hot New Hip Hop, HNHH. Thank you. I appreciate that. 3 likes, 3 people. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And the fact that you're not watching Choice Star Terrain, I salute you. Respect to you. Only because I would rather you watch him live because he has to get his numbers up. Don't worry about me. I'm in a dinghy. He's in a yacht. Give respect to the man who built up a yacht. I'm just in a dinghy, with 450 subscribers. He has over 250,000 subscribers. Okay, so definitely give respect to that man for that. I mean that sincerely. Because if it weren't for him, I wouldn't even be here. So, tell you the truth, that's the reality. So Rick Ross, he just continues to go forward on positivity. He's pushing P. He's definitely pushing P. He's pushing positivity. He's all about that, that bag. He's getting that money. That's what this whole thing is about. People don't even like rap. People don't like hip hop. Rappers hate hip hop. You want to know the worst person in the world for rap or hip hop? Look at a rapper. They hate it. I'm not a rapper. I'm a hustler. I'm not a rapper. I'm a painter. I'm everything but a rapper, even though they are rappers. Everyone from Jay-Z to Tyler the Creator. They're not really focused on rap. They can do it. They have the talent. They can enjoy it, but it doesn't mean that defines them. Like there's some rapping ass nigga, on the block spitting 3,000 bars in a freestyle, in the project hallways, being there all day. That's stupid. To quote Jay-Z from to paraphrase Jay-Z from DOA, Death of Autotune, And everybody knows. Remember that? That's my old ass talking. Yes, yes, sitting in my rocking chair. Yeah. He said, that's from 2009. That's 15 years ago, almost. If you can believe that. So that's the facts about that. Rick Ross is definitely a premier rapper, but he's also a businessman to the fullest. He's about that cake. He's a cakeaholic. He's the cakeaholic. I don't know about Dame Dash anymore. I tried American New. Anybody have American New? I tried American New, but like I said before on another broadcast, I tried to get past the first few shows, and they're pretty interesting. Then a commercial comes on, then a totally different show comes on. I'm like, what the hell? I'm not really pushing that, American New. The way that Dame Dash is, oh yeah, American New. Oh, that's right, American New. American New. Yeah, you gotta check out American New. American New. That's all he's saying, but he's not pushing a great product. It's not a good product. If you're having, interruptions and stuff like that in your service, that's not a good product. I respect Dame. I respect the fact that he has American New. Just get it right, and then I'll support it. I can't support it. Once you get out the kinks, once you get out, all the little bugs and everything that go on, then I'll be like, oh yeah, American New, American New, yup, American New, American New, yeah, definitely American New. That's all he knows. Every interview he's in, everything he's on, he's always talking about that American New. I'm like, all right, I can't get into it, but all right. So I think that it's vital and very important to point out the fact that hip hop is about entrepreneurship primarily. And nowadays, it's about that dollar. It's about getting paid. Has always been about getting paid. It's street entrepreneurialism or entrepreneurship. That's what it is about. Has been about that, but it's been emphasized within the past, 15 to 20 years, especially as, rappers go platinum multiple times and have diamond singles, diamond albums. I think Eminem is the only rapper to have 2 diamond albums. One of the only artists to ever do that, period. Got to give the white boys props. But like I'm saying, Rick Ross, he has a skill, he has a talent. He told one of the interviewers about the famous Jay-Z, sit down if you would rather have $500,000 or a lunch with Jay-Z. Take the lunch with Jay-Z. I would agree with that because you're going to get more information. You can get $500,000 any other way. You're going to have a special time with Jay-Z. You can only get that one moment, or you might be able to hang out with him later on, or sometimes you may become his friend. But if you just had a decision to make to say, $500,000 Jay-Z dinner lunch, take the Jay-Z lunch every time. That's what Rick Ross said. The way Jay-Z broke down Rick Ross's rhyme schemes and his rhyme patterns, he told him to sing to rap this certain way, and you have to give your audience this much. You have to say this a little bit, and that's just a tidbit of what he was professing to him. He was just giving him some pointers about that. 0 viewers. Finally, I was waiting for it. Thank you. I have 0 viewers. I appreciate it. Thank you. So this is all rebroadcast land. I have no idea when Mr. Terrain's going on. He doesn't tell me I'm going live at a certain time. He just goes on. So I'm just suggesting. I'm just ballparking and estimating that he is the reason why I only have 0. I have 0 viewers. So I appreciate that. Thank you, and definitely support the hater. Support the hater if you're going to go over to his live. So yes. Rick Ross is the truth. Rick Ross is definitely a legend now. He's a veteran and a legend. He's one of the top. He's the top 50. He's at the 50th mark for best rappers of all time, according to Billboard magazine. So you have to give him his props. All right. So I'm gonna try to segue into this, question I just thought about myself. Who do you fear? Who do you fear? Some people say, man, I don't fear nobody but God. I don't fear nobody but God. Do you fear anyone in this life? Any human being? Any entity? Some kind of mystical force? Something other than God? Do you put your faith in a lamp post? Do you fear anything at all? Maybe you don't fear anything. Maybe you're completely fearless. I always say, when people say, who do you fear? I say, I fear my dad. My dad is my God. I always say that. He's like a God to me in my eyes. So that's what it comes down to. Some people say, fear no man. Fear no man. So who do you fear? Is there a way that you can fear somebody and still, respect them and still have a sense of understanding about their position? Is it a superior that you fear? Is somebody that may have more knowledge, wisdom, and experience than you? Is that possible? Is that it? Is that the way you conduct yourself? They say, even in the Bible, I'm going to paraphrase. I just forgot how to do it now because I had that. But like I said, I'm going to paraphrase as best as I can. We are wonderfully and fearfully made. Now, and I'm going into another zone because that's the word fear in this context doesn't mean the same thing as any other context. What is meant by fearfully made? Well, I want to look it up. What is meant by fear? It is in Psalm 139. David's praying to God and says, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. This speaks of the care and attention with which God has made us. By now, God has made billions of human beings, but we're not mass produced. We're not turned out in a mechanistic way. So that's what that passage means. I'm an atheist. There is no mystical force beyond the realm of this universe. There is none. There is no higher power. No. The only thing that comes to mind when I think about a higher power is the United States government, which has a lock on the entire globe. Okay? Anything and everything you want to do is you got to go through the United States government. No matter who you are, what you are, I don't care what. It has to go through the United States government. So they have the control over you. Do you fear politicians? Do you fear different things like drought? Do you fear things like starvation? Do you fear things like the oncoming, doomsday? Mark Zuckerberg is building a $270 million bunker. What does he know? Does he know more than us? How does he know? How does he figure that he can, buy all this, materials and supplies for a $270 million bunker? What does he know that we don't? And that he is selfishly, and he should be, I'm saying this is a good thing, he is selfishly not telling us. He's caring about his own wife and children, or child. I don't know how many kids he's got now. But yeah, so he's got a whole way of defeating the fear of, I guess a Holocaust or something like that, another nuclear Holocaust. Priscilla Chan, that's his wife's name. Priscilla Chan and let's see. They have 3 kids. Damn. I didn't realize that. They've been doing some work. But no, Mark Zuckerberg, is definitely on point. They have three daughters: Maxima, August, and Aurelia. Okay, I see you, Mr. Zuckerberg, trying to get that, $270 million bunker for your wife and kids. That's right, and your closest friends. That's what's important. That's what is the truth. I'm trying to look up the cost right now. Yeah, 270 million. Yep. He's got a compound. That's the compound that they're planning to do. He's worth, I think, over $100 billion, so he can definitely afford it. Anybody remember? This is what Mr. Troy Sartran always brings up when he talking about Zuckerberg, who he calls Damien from The Omen. He gave $100 million to the niggers and spics in Newark, New Jersey. For what reason, I know not. Besides the fact that it was a power move to show, look, I can show give these niggers and spics money. They're gonna mess it up. I'm not trying not to cuss that much, but they're gonna mess it all up. It's gonna go through bureaucratic bullshit, and they're gonna completely ruin it. But I had to show that I can give $100 million. I'm a good person. I can give. I can use altruism as a tool. That's basically what he's saying. When altruism is completely evil and devoid of all virtue. But we still go after. We're still on Facebook. We're still on Threads. We're still on Instagram. All the other properties he has. He gets $5 every time you write a letter on Facebook or Instagram. You post a photo on Instagram. That's not true. I'm just saying as a joke. But yeah. So does he fear? Is that an example of fear? That something serious could happen. Some kind of attack by an unknown enemy? Is he gearing up? Is he preparing? Is he readying himself? What say you? If you had the money that he had, would you be building a $270 million bunker to shield your family from hurt, harm, or danger or hazard? What would be in your rational self-interest? How selfish could you be? And like I said before, nobody says, oh, you're just rationally self-interested. That's why Ayn Rand named her monumental collection of essays, The Virtue of Selfishness, not the virtue of rational self-interest. First of all, it's too many letters and too many words, but just the virtue of selfishness. Cut right to the bone. Right to the bone. Don't play around. She had it on smash during her lifetime. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Ayn Rand either. If it weren't for Troy Sartran and Ayn Rand, I would not be here. I'd probably be at, Bible study or something like that. Even though I still go to Bible study, I would go to Bible study now, but I wouldn't have the equipment to understand the language and the coded, verbiage that's coming at me during a Bible study session. So I'm very fortunate to have the knowledge and the wisdom, if not the experience fully, of objectivism and objective hate. Because they are the ones that taught me not to fear. Why fear? Ayn Rand said this like in her one of her essays. She says, revealing the truth is like seeing a Halloween mask in the daytime. It's not scary. There's no fear there. You can see the mass, but it's during the daytime. It's in the light. That's the difference. That's what makes it, complete and whole. And given the amount of time that we share on this earth, it's very limited. There's no room for you to be fearful of anyone for any reason, unless it's out of, a metaphor. Like they say, I fear God, I fear no man. I said, well, there is no God, so the closest thing I have is my dad. He's my God. I don't fear anybody but my dad. I fear no man other than my father, my earthly father, because that's the only father I have. There's no heaven. You get into trouble, you start talking about heaven. Like I said many times before, is there a union for making the pearly gates and the streets of gold and the mansions? Are they union workers, the angels? Or are they paid on spec? Are they paid, up front? Are they paid under the table? Are there taxes in heaven? I think there's a quote in the Bible. I think it says, it might be the Lord's Prayer. I think, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on. That's it. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So whatever's happening on earth is what's happening in heaven. I could be confused. Correct me. Somebody's gonna make no. That's not what it means. And then you get a rabbi, and they say, oh no, that's not what it means. And then you get somebody, you get an imam, and they say, oh no, that's not what it means. The Baptist preacher and the mosque, the synagogue rabbi and the mosque imam, they're all going to have different names and different titles and different words for different things. Always. No matter what happens. So, just to let you know that. There was a time when I did fear other things. I used to fear death. I used to say, oh my God, I'm going to die. I can never say I never said that. I did say I did fear death. I said, oh my God, my life is short. And I go to funerals. I'm like, oh my God, they're dead. I can't believe this. This is so sad. This is awful. Now, completely as an objectivist, I have a whole understanding of what death is. Death is just the end. That's why you have to fill life up with so much joy and happiness and industry and reality and reason and purpose and self-esteem and understanding of oneself, that you don't even look at death as something to fear. You don't look at death as something that should be dreadful and something that's, oh my gosh, this is going to be a horrible thing for me to experience. You're not going to experience death. You're just going to die. That's it. Just like stepping on an ant. Do all ants go to heaven? I mean, is heaven crowded with trillions and trillions of ants that have been killed and so many others? It's like, that's how, fantastical and ridiculous. I'm just going to say fantastical. I'm not going to go too hard. It's fantastical. It's fantastic to say things like that. That there's some other realm, heaven or hell or some other place, nirvana, perdition, whatever the case may be. That's the reality of it. So, who do you fear? Who is on your list of people that you fear or things that you fear? What do you fear? Do you fear not graduating from high school? Do you fear not graduating from college? Do you fear, somebody's going to take your job? Do you fear so many things? Do you fear losing your house? Do you fear losing all your money? What is your greatest fear? Who do you fear? How do you know what is to be feared? How do you have that understanding? How do you have that thought process? How do you even understand what you're going to go through in order to understand your fear. What is it that's going to prevent you from fearing that special thing? I can tell you, like I said, I used to fear God. I used to have the whole Christian thing going on. I had the fear of eternal damnation. Baha, it is learned. Baha Jackson, salute. He's saying it is learned. That is a fact. That is a fact. It has to be taught. You have to have, it's just like, evil. I'm not going to say hate, because you can teach hate, but hate can be a good thing. You're supposed to hate. You're supposed to hate, evil. For one thing, you're supposed to hate, robbers and thieves and liars and fraudsters. You hate these people. You're supposed to hate these people. But fear them? I don't know if that's the best word. Fear is learned. Why are we afraid of mice, bugs? That's a good question. I think it's all evolutionary. The reason why we're fearful of mice and bugs and alligators and crocodiles, and there's a part of our brain that takes into account through our senses. We get heightened sense. Our heart starts pumping and everything like that because of our evolutionary process, because of the evolutionary way for us to understand the world. We get literally scared. We get fearful of the alligator or the elephant, the bull elephant or something like that. We get completely frightened because we're not sure what it is. And by the way, Baha Jackson just clocked in. I meant to say that he's my one. Definitely appreciate his work. And I'll give another. Let me give his ad and a few other ads. His ad is BEEJACKSON 5478 on YouTube. If you want to see grilled sardines, if you want to see non-alcoholic beer, if you want to see chicken getting fried up, check out his channel. Make sure you tell him I sent you. And it's excellent content, very short, to the point, very small clips. But he does an excellent job. Also, subscribe to Spirit Smooth Tunes, SPIRITSMOOTHTUNES. He does an excellent job with music. He has soul, neo soul, R&B, quiet storm, smooth jazz, all kinds of great, singing and actual instrument playing by the artists themselves, not just a rapper and a producer on a song. These are live instrumentation and recorded. So definitely check him out. He's one of the greats. Check out Dot Focus, DOTFOCUS _. His website is twitch.tv/DOTFOCUS _. Just one underscore. And I'm back to 0 viewers. Also, my man Peng, I'm still waiting on those orders, man. I want to try your stuff. You got to give me those freebies so I can, push your products more to my 0 viewers at the live. So you got to go to Life Strong Apparel, LifeStrongApparel.com. LifeStrongApparel.com. Check out his sea moss. Check out his gummies, because I still haven't gotten anything from him. I'm playing with him. But I definitely want to represent for him. He's an excellent man. He's a grown man. He's a little younger than me, but in a lot of ways he's more grown. So I definitely appreciate that fact. Just like my brother, like same mother, different father. Who said that? Yeah, so fear is, I don't want to say, depending on what the case is, like I said, it's evolutionary. It could be innate. It could be innate. I'm not I'm not a psychologist, and I'm not a anthropologist or anything like that. I'm just saying that it could be innate. The way you look at a spider on the wall, spider crawling across the wall. Oh my God, should I kill it? Like, that's the first thing in your mind. You're like, I have to kill it. It has to get out of here. You want to put it in a jar, or something. You want to get it away from you somehow. Whether you kill it or you put it in a jar and you put it outside. It's the same. I think it is in when it comes to different species and organisms like that. But what I'm saying mostly is, who is it in your life that's a human being that you fear? Do you fear President Biden? Do you fear the fact that he has the power to change anything and everything in your life at a few strokes of a pen? Do you fear the fact that there are systems and different governments that are gearing up to try to use cyber attacks and web web attacks to take down our systems of government, of our systems of business? I know this is a robust system, but look what happened September 11, 2001. People were very fearful after that. The late, great Paul Mooney said, we know God. We know God. Everybody was like, after 9/11, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh my God. And black folk, he was saying, I'm not saying we as in black folk. I don't consider myself a black person. I consider myself a man of color who happens to live in America. But when it comes to racism, I'm a black man. So just to make that clear. But, people were fearful, very fearful. And the weird thing is, it's like, we were on a different level. We were on a very different level. I mean, the people in the surrounding area of New York were like, get back to work. I mean, the first plane hit in the North Tower and the South Tower. They're like, it must be a minor earthquake or something. It's just get back to work. Go back to your desks. And then, bang, that's when it got real. That's when it was like, it wasn't an accident. It wasn't something, a miscalculation. This is real war. This is an actual war. I mean, look at the wars that are around us. Look at Ukraine and Russia. Russia's war on Ukraine. Hamas and Palestinians' war on Israel. Just think about that. Do you fear that idea? Do you fear the idea of the reversal of Israel and Palestine, or Palestinians, and the Gaza Strip? Because in Israel, you have mostly, Jews living with Christians and Muslims and atheists. Mostly there's a lot of atheists in Israel. But you can live happily and wonderfully in a technologically and modern and rational society. Or do you have a whole country of Palestine who wants to have a dictatorship and rule over everyone? And there are virtually no Jews. They've all been converted or killed. You don't have any atheists. They've been killed or converted. And you don't have any, people that are of other faiths. No Christians or Jews or atheists or anyone else. That's the opposite. Do you fear that? Do you fear the leaders in other countries? Do you fear that they have the capacity to make war at any time for any reason whatsoever? Is that what you fear? Do you fear that? Is that something that goes on in your mind that could bring you to a sense of not knowing what you're doing, not knowing what is supposed to happen? How does that make you feel? How does that make you, more importantly, how does it make you think? What is it about that sense of fear that you have in your mind? What is it about that idealism that you have that says, I have to have fear in this. I can't shake it. It's part of my life. It's part of my living. It's part of who I am. It's part of what I am. part of who I've become. And that's what's so truthful. That's what's so real. The fear, they said that, I mean, there's a classic 80s movie called They Live, and it's like the main character puts on sunglasses and sees all these like bugged out, weird alien looking people, and they're like, and he takes the glasses off and they look like regular human beings. Do you fear that? Do you fear that, there are people that are, have been substituted from, alien sources and taken to another, level in space and been replaced by these aliens, and you can only see them using these special sunglasses? I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum. That's a classic line from that film. So, like I said, I don't fear anyone. I fear no one but my dad. That's it. And I fear him because I respect him. I actually love him and I actually like him. We're not friends, but we're often road dogs. We often travel together. We often do things together. We often eat meals together. And it's a beautiful situation. That's what I think is, so detrimental and negative in so many other people's minds, even about their own fathers. They know their fathers. They fear the fact that they may turn out to be like their fathers. My fear is that I don't live up to being close to a tenth of what my father is. If I ever have children, I have no idea how I'm going to fare. I don't know if I'm going to be a great dad or a terrible dad or a horrible dad. That's one of my fears. That's actually one of my fears. That's something that, hinders me in certain circumstances. And that's why I haven't had children now. Besides finding a young lady that's worthy of my time. But other than that, I say, who do you fear? Who is it in your life? Who or what do you fear? And like I said, the good book, quote unquote, the Bible, Holy Babel. I joke, I'm kidding. I make light of it, okay? Not, obviously, I'm outnumbered, so there's no point in trying to denigrate the Bible or saying that it's, ridiculous or stupid or anything like that. That's irrational. It's completely irrational. But I will say that the ancient texts, the Torah, the Hadith, the Quran, the Bible, all, just these top three, especially, they're all about fear. They're all about, fearing God, fearing His word, fearing His message, no matter what the message is, whether it be through Christian, Jewish, or Muslim, Christianity, Judaism, or Islam. It doesn't matter. As long as there's, people in this world that are, committed to, crime, disgusting acts, nastiness, evil, what believers would call sin, that's what factors in the most. So be on the lookout for what you fear, and it may completely transform into something else. That fear may be turned into a positive. Like I fear my dad. That's a positive. And I fear no man. No man do I fear other than my dad. I'd like to thank you all. I appreciate the people that came in. I got 3 likes out of y'all. Before y'all saw that, Mr. Troy Star Terrain is definitely on the check-in. He's doing his show. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody in rebroadcast land that's going to make this show double digits at least. And I hope you all have a great and wonderful, fearless time. Take care.